Welcome to the Metal Voice. Again, a recurring guest, the one, the only, and I'll use that, the one, the only, Frank Hannon from Tesla. The one and only guitarist, or, well, I wouldn't say one and only guitarist, but a great guitarist.
Hey, well, thank you very much for having me on your show. Yeah, we're definitely a twin guitar band. Dave Rhoads is our other guitarist, and but I am one of the OG original founding member guys. Getting old, man. We're celebrating 40 years together, me and the bass player Brian Wheat, and we're on a roll right now, man. Tesla is on tour. We got some new songs that we're out with. It's going great.
I should have prefaced it with Tesla has returned with a new single, Time to Rock, and I believe you co-wrote this song. There's a tour coming up, and it seems to be the theme that bands today, every time they go on a tour, they're about to start a tour, they release a song. Is that the strategy now versus releasing an album? What's Tesla's take on that?
Well, our take on it is that, we've made a lot of albums. Like I said, we're pushing a lot of years. We've done all of that. And now at the phase that we're at, this chapter of our career, it's much more rewarding to get together and focus just on one song without the pressure of trying to fabricate 10 songs to create an album. Now, if you rewind back to our first album and the first, 6 albums that we made, that was a different time. I mean, we spent years writing that first album in the clubs and we had a lot of time. These days, man, it's just more productive for us just to kind of focus on one song without any pressure. And we're really enjoying that.
So is it just kind of like inspiration hits? Like last year, there's things going on in the world. Boom, we get a Cold Blue Steel. Now, finally, the world's opening up and we're getting out there again. Hey, it's time to rock. And is it as simple as that? I'm inspired, I write a song, and let's put it out there and not wait for a record?
You're describing it to a T. You're hitting the nail on the head there, man. That's exactly how it is. We're living more in the moment, of what's going on. The process of making a full-length album would cause us, like we've done before, to lock ourselves in a room and try to force them out. Whereas right now, with the way we're doing it, it's more in the moment, and we get to enjoy the songs as they're relevant in the moment when we write them, going on with what's going on in the world and what we're being inspired by. So yeah, you really described that perfectly.
He's good at that. He's really good at that Frank. He's good at defining things.
He's aware. He's aware.
Yeah. Frank, the stadium tour. I mean, one act that I thought would be there that wasn't, it was Tesla. Like I go, how could Tesla not be part of the stadium tour that's going around right now? Was there any sort of conversations for that? Was Tesla invited, or maybe you guys were just busy and wanted to do your own thing?
Well, as you know, the stadium tour got off to a rocky start, just like everything did with the COVID. When COVID hit, that stadium tour was booked years ago.
2020.
And it's just able to get going. Well, it's been going all summer now, but, I don't know what happened there. Yes, the answer is yes. Originally, we've been friends with Def Leppard forever. We've done shows with Motley Crue and Poison, and Tesla would have definitely been a great choice, and I think rounded off that package nicely. We were obviously would want to play in that arena or stadium, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason it didn't work out. I really don't know. Those are reasons that are beyond my control. I'm more of the music guy. I'm not really the business guy. So there was some other business politics maybe taking place that I have no idea about.
Would you do that though, Frank? So Frank, so I saw the tour last week, and Joan Jett goes on at like 4:00 in the afternoon for 45 minutes. How do you feel about, I know you're out headlining now, so you can play a new song, you can play deeper cuts, you can play the hits. You're out there, I'm assuming, an hour and a half, an hour 45, 2 hours. Would you want to kind of do 45 minutes at 4:00 in the afternoon, or?
I tell you, man, you are a smart guy. You have got
Tell my
figured-
wife. Tell my wife that, would you?
It's true. Yeah, and again, we're really happy for Joan Jett. We're huge fans of Joan Jett. We toured with Joan Jett and Styx a couple years ago together, and man, she is an awesome, iconic. I love rock and roll punk. Founder of metal with the Runaways and the female movement. So we're real happy for Joan Jett, and she deserves that spot, if not as much as Tesla. So there's that. And yes, what you said is we're at a point now with our career where we're writing our new songs. We want to have the ability to play a full show, and we're realizing that we are pretty much independent, and the only people we can count on is the five of us in our band. Brian Wheat, Jeff Keith, myself, Dave Rude, and Steve Brown is playing drums with us now for us. Troy's on a hiatus. But the original members, Brian Wheat and myself and Jeff Keith, we realize that we're independent. We're producing our music ourselves now. We're running our own ship, and we're happy to be out headlining and having that time slot to play our catalog of music.
How about Troy? Have you heard anything from him? Has he given any sort of idea of when he's going to be returning back to the band, or he's just taking his time?
Yeah, we're just allowing the time for things to work themselves out. He's got things that he's dealing with, and touring is not an easy life, man. It's a very difficult thing, being out there on a bus with everybody crammed in that tight situation. And when you got stuff going on at home, those things need to be taken care of. So, but hey, man, he's a long-standing member of the band, and we'll work it out. Time will work things out. He's a brother, and like I said, time will work things out. The founding members of the band are together, and Steve Brown is playing drums for us at the moment and really doing a great job. And we're just happy to be able to keep on working.
Okay, good.
Steve is Wild Mix's brother, is he not?
Yeah, Steve is not only Wild Mix's little brother, but he is also a member of our local community here in Sacramento. We've known him since he was a little guy. He used to come watch us play when he was a teenager, and he has done other shows for us in the past, filling in for Troy. So he's a member of our family as well.
All right. Let me ask you this. I guess you had a good time in Montreal. I know that you... Tell us about your experience with Frank Marino.
Wow.
We all know Frank Marino here. That's
Frank.
right.
Frank's a friend of the show. So, and we know that when you were in Montreal, not everyone gets access to Frank, but you got to spend some time with Frank.
Yes, and that was a dream come true, man. Frank has always been like one of my biggest guitar heroes from the 70s and as a kid growing up. And I met his nephew, Mike, and what a nice guy. What a great family. He found out that I was a huge fan of Frank Marino, and Frank invited me over for pizza and Coca-Cola. And I got to spend 2 wonderful evenings hanging out with Frank in his studio and listening to him talk and tell stories. And we just laughed and had a great time. And, it's really awesome when you meet one of your musical heroes and they turned out to be such a great guy with a lot of heart, and especially a guy who's been through so many ups and downs like Frank has. It was very rewarding and very refreshing to meet one of my heroes and have them be so down to earth and cool like he is. Not only down to earth, but also otherworldly in his musicianship and his creativity of the electronics and the things that he does and has done. His guitar playing and his shows. I mean, that DVD he did recently, his most recent release, the 4-hour show that he worked on so meticulously, it's just mind-blowing. So to meet a guy who's got that much talent but also be so cool and inviting into his home was very a rewarding and refreshing experience for me.
Jimmy K here, Metal Voice. Look at this. The Metal Voice shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal!
So speaking, so any other kind of heroes of yours as you're out on tour that you're hoping to drop in on and have pizza with? Like, so you scratched Frank off the bucket list. So who else, is influencing you, whether it's your whole life or new that you're listening to now, that makes you kind of say, yeah, if I could have pizza with them, that'd be pretty cool.
Most recently, I met a more current band called Fuel. And those guys were really cool. And as it turns out, they were high school fans of Tesla and my guitar playing. And Carl and Mark, Kevin, those guys in Fuel, man, they've been through a lot of ups and downs as well in the music business. I mean, they've been around for about 20 years now. So they were really cool. And they're a great band, great songs. On my bucket list, though, I made an album a few years ago, a Frank Hannon solo album called Six String Soldiers that I wrote with Mike Ariza and Jeff Sandoval, some very talented musicians out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And on that album, I have some very special guest guitarists, including one of my biggest influences is Rick Derringer. Rick Derringer, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, still alive and well. Edgar Winter, he produced Frankenstein, the most legendary instrumental of all time. So that was amazing. And I didn't have pizza with Rick, but I did order some Vietnamese soup for him. And I also spent the evening at my house and I grilled up some vegetables for him. He's a vegetarian. So we made a vegetarian stir fry. And Rick Derringer played on a song on my Six String Soldiers album. Another guitar hero that came over and played on the album was Pat Travers. Now these are guys from the 70s that really influenced me. Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Rick Derringer, Pat Travers. And then one of my biggest musical influences as a songwriter and a guitarist is my father-in-law, Mr. Dickie Betts from the
Well, that was going to be one of my questions. See, I'm a huge Southern rock fan. I know this is the Metal Voice, but Jimmy knows I'm a huge Skynyrd fan. And you can't love Skynyrd without the Allman Brothers. So I don't know if a lot of people know that Dickie Betts is your father-in-law. So
Dickie Betts, man, and his daughter has been a saving grace in my life. We've been married for over 20 years. She's a sweetheart, and she understands me because I'm a guitar player. Her daddy's a guitar player. And a long time ago, an old wise man told me, if you're going to date a girl, make sure she loves her daddy. Yeah. And my wife loves her daddy. She has no daddy issues there. It's great. And Dickie, as a songwriter, I mean, Blue Sky, Ramblin' Man, Jessica, Southbound, just some great classic stuff that actually influenced all the metal that you hear. I mean, I would bet you Thin Lizzy and Iron Maiden and all those guys are influenced by the Allman Brothers and Lynyrd Skynyrd. I would bet $100 on that.
Yeah.
And is Dickie doing okay? Because please send him our best. Because we know Dickie's getting up there and he's had his struggles here and there, but everyone's always rooting for him. That's for sure.
He is a little fighter, man. He's a tiger. He's a spry little guy. When I say little, it's just because he's on the shorter side. But man, he has got a bundle of energy, and he's doing okay.
What about? I remember seeing a video of you going to Musonia and visiting Dolores Rhoads. Have you gone back there? Have you met up with the family?
Wow. Well, Kel, his brother, was very hospitable, and Dolores was an angel. She has since passed away. Rest in peace. I have not had any time to be in LA very much with COVID and with everything, and now with Tesla being on the road. So I have not had a chance to visit the school again. But they were very gracious to me. And obviously, Randy Rhoads is, the founding father of neoclassical killer guitar playing. I mean, those first two Ozzy albums really influenced me. 1982, I was 16 years old in high school. And just unbelievable influence, you know. So that was a moment that I'll treasure. And if people want to see it, they can find it on YouTube. Frank Hannon visits Randy Rhoads' mother. There's a documentary video that I made of that.
Yep. What about on the last note, I guess, are you working on an album? Is there the ideas, are they floating around? Are you jamming out ideas, storing those ideas, getting ready for an album, or is it just we're just going to do
or even a timeline, or is there a timeline?
Myself personally, I have a lot of ideas and stuff for solo albums that are, you know, filled on my hard drives. I did some music with Brian Tishy, the amazing drummer that plays, you know, with Dead Daisies and Whitesnake, and he's a freaking phenomenal. You guys know Brian Tishy?
Of course, yeah.
I know Billy Idol, Ozzy, Brian Foreigner. Brian's played of everybody.
He's been everywhere, yeah.
Bonzo Bash, Randy Rhoads tribute. Brian Tishy's an amazing guitar player. He does a tribute to Randy Rhoads as well. He and I recorded 3 songs last year that have never been released. I've got some instrumentals that are out of this world, crazy experimental stuff as a solo artist. I may put that stuff out, but I'm not in a hurry to do it. I'm just archived it right now because I'm focusing all my energy on Tesla. And Jeff Keith and I, being, you know, the fundamental writers for the band, we have another ballad that we're working on. It's called All About Love, and it's really like a segue from Love Song and that side of our band. We did put out Cold Blue Steel, Time to Rock, when we got that ballad. And we're just going to keep cranking them out in the moment. And then the album will come at the end of that creative run. And I can't give you a timeline, but we will put them all together on a collection.
Okay, that's fair enough. So what about the tour dates now? When does that start? Or it started already? You're already on tour.
Well, I'm home right now for 3 days. This is my porch. I'm enjoying my home for 3 days. I fly to Salt Lake City tomorrow and do a couple more dates. And then we do a whole Texas run all of September. Mm-hmm. And Phil X, amazing guitar player, is in a band called Dimer. And they're going to be opening the tour for us. And Phil X is a freaking... You guys know Phil X?
Of course.
He's from Canada,
from Mississauga.
He played in Triumph. Yeah, he was in Triumph. So we know. I know he's with Bon Jovi.
He was in Bon Jovi as well. Yeah, his band that he's playing with now is going to be opening for Tesla all of September in the state of Texas. And then we're going to be doing Monsters of Rock Cruise.
Oh, yes.
Is putting on a great 2023 festival on the sea. And we're going to be doing that. We're also doing a huge festival in Key West, Florida in January, along with some more Florida dates in January of 2023. So we're very busy. And it's going to be, because you know why? It's time to rock!
All right, Time to Rock. Go get it now, right? You can download it, I guess, legally and buy it, right? I would think, right? On Amazon and all the other.
You can even buy it.
Yeah, yes. You can buy Bandcamp, there's iTunes, you know, wherever you buy music if you want to help the band. Or you can stream it on, you know, Spotify or YouTube or anywhere else.
Frank, it's been a pleasure. Yes, go ahead.
Brand new video. We just released a video for it, recorded in our hometown. Brandon Golian is the editor and the director of that. He's an up-and-coming videographer. Kicks major ass, and we're really happy with that. It just came out.
All right. Go support Tesla.
TikTok, Time to Rock. You got the modern lyric in there. TikTok is connecting with all the kids, you know. TikTok, Time to Rock.
TikTok, Time to Rock. Look at that.
Yeah. Time to...
All right. Any closing comments?
Man, metal, rock, jamming, all the music, everything, man. I love it all. That's why they call me the heavy metal hippie. Because I love Judas Priest, the Grateful Dead. Their music echoes in my head. Tie-dye and leather. I'll wear them together. You know why? Because I'm the heavy metal hippie.
On that note, thank you very much.
Very lively, my friend. Very lively. We hope to see you soon out on the road.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show.